Horizon, an American saga, Chapter 1 is a sprawling epic, and it has a fittingly large number of characters and stories, but not all of its storylines are equally interesting. The massive cast of Horizon features characters who take on all sorts of roles, from wagon train leaders to outlaws and normal settlers. Having such a deep cast of talented actors allows Horizon to explore the many different facets of the Old West and westward expansion, but it also splits the movie's focus. Though it's a lengthy epic, Horizon Chapter 1 is over 3 hours long, not all of its storylines get the same attention. Horizon was able to include so many stories because it didn't have to wrap them all up in one film. Kevin Costner has 4 Horizon movies planned, and the second one has already been filmed. That release plan lets Horizon be a true epic, but it's also caused some problems. Horizon Chapter 1 did very poorly at the box office, and Horizon Chapter 2 was delayed because of that. Costner's choice to tell so many stories at the same time may have jeopardized the saga, and it kept some of Horizon Chapter 1's stories from being as interesting as they could have been. The Wagon Train. Matthew Van Vyden and Juliette Chesney are interesting, but the Wagon Train doesn't offer much else. The least compelling storyline so far in Horizon is the Wagon Train. While there are some good characters in the Wagon Train so far, Luke Wilson's Matthew Van Vyden and Ella Hunt's Juliette Chesney both stand out, there's not much else to make their story compelling so far. Will Patton's Owen Kittredge and his daughters seem like they might soon become interesting, and much more important, given their last names, but they don't get much of a role in Horizon Chapter 1 beyond carrying water. The Wagon Train spends more time worrying about interesting things that might happen than it does actually being interesting. The main reason the Wagon Train is so uninteresting is that it suffers the most from Horizon's greatest mistake. It feels like the first chapter of a story. With little more than introductions in the way of character development, the characters of the Wagon Train simply aren't very interesting or compelling. On top of that, very little actually happens in the Wagon Train scenes. What little does happen, like Juliette's feud with Van Vyden and her complaint about being watched while washing, feels like nothing more than setup. The result is that the Wagon Train feels more like filler than anything truly interesting. The Apache tribe has a fairly interesting premise, but it too falls flat. The bulk of the Apache subplot focuses on Owen Crowshoe's Piansene butting heads with Gregory Cruz's Tuiza about how to handle the ever-encroaching wave of settlers coming onto their land. Their differing opinions present a few interesting moral and philosophical questions the subsequent Horizon films will likely chew on, but it falls victim to the same problem of the Wagon Train. There's simply not enough there. The Apache tribe introduced these great themes and questions, yet Horizon Chapter 1 didn't capitalize on them at all, instead saving them for the sequels. Piansene's story in particular has a few glaring problems, in addition to its short length. Horizon's introduction to Piansene, before even revealing his name, involves showing him and his followers brutally raiding and massacring the Horizon settlers. It then feels like Piansene's speech to Tuiza is nothing more than an afterthought. He's already decided to be more aggressive, and there's very little suspense because of that. The scene also serves as both of the characters' proper introductions, meaning the audience doesn't yet have knowledge of their relationship or any reason to care about Piansene splitting the tribe.